In the bustling heart of ancient Jerusalem, under the shadow of imperial Rome, the air was thick with tension. The city, a crossroads of faith and culture, simmered with unrest. Passover approached, and with it, the arrival of thousands of pilgrims. Roman soldiers patrolled the streets, their armor glinting in the sun, ever watchful for signs of rebellion. At the center of this storm stood Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor, a man tasked with maintaining order at all costs, his every decision weighed against the delicate balance of power. Pilate was no stranger to controversy. Appointed by the Emperor Tiberius, he was responsible for overseeing a province known for its volatility. The people of Judea were fiercely protective of their traditions, and any hint of Roman interference was met with outrage. Pilate's rule had already been marked by missteps. He had once brought imperial standards bearing the emperor's image into Jerusalem, sparking riots. Another time he used temple funds to build an aqueduct, provoking further anger. Each incident was a reminder that his authority rested on a knife's edge, dependent on both the favor of Rome and the fragile peace with the local leaders. It was in this charged atmosphere that a new crisis erupted. A man named Jesus of Nazareth, a wandering teacher and healer, had captured the imagination of the masses. His message of compassion and his growing following unsettled the religious establishment. The chief priests and elders saw in him a threat, not just to their authority, but to the delicate accord with their Roman overlords. They feared that if Jesus' movement sparked unrest during the already tense Passover, Rome's response would be swift and brutal. Secret meetings were held in the dead of night. The city's religious leaders debated their options, weighing the risks of inaction against the potential fallout of delivering one of their own to the occupying power. At last, they resolved to act. Jesus was arrested, tried in a hurried proceeding, and condemned for blasphemy, a charge with little weight in Roman law, but one that could be reframed as sedition, a crime the empire took seriously. As dawn broke, Jesus was brought before Pilate. The governor regarded his prisoner with a practiced eye, accustomed to the desperate pleas and defiant stares of those who found themselves at his mercy. Pilate's first instinct was skepticism. He questioned Jesus, searching for evidence of insurrection, but found none. The accused spoke of a kingdom not of this world, of truth and justice, but offered no threat to Rome's rule. Pilate sensed that the charges were rooted in envy and fear, not genuine concern for imperial order. Yet, the religious leaders pressed their case with growing urgency. They insisted that Jesus claimed to be king, a direct challenge to Caesar's authority. The crowd outside the praetorium swelled, their voices rising in a cacophony of accusation and demand. Pilate felt the weight of their expectation, the knowledge that any sign of weakness could ignite the city. He considered releasing Jesus, offering the crowd a choice between him and Barabbas, a known rebel. But the people, stirred by their leaders, clamored for Jesus' death. Behind the scenes, Pilate's wife sent word of a troubling dream, urging her husband to have nothing to do with this righteous man. The message unsettled him, adding a layer of personal anxiety to the political calculations. Still, the governor hesitated, searching for a way out. He questioned Jesus again, hoping for a declaration that would allow him to dismiss the charges. Instead, he was met with silence, a refusal to plead for mercy or mount a defense. The pressure mounted. The chief priests warned that releasing Jesus would be seen as an act of disloyalty to Rome. "If you let this man go, you are no friend of Caesar," they declared, invoking the emperor's name with calculated menace. Pilate understood the implication. Word of leniency toward a would-be king could reach the imperial court, jeopardizing his position, perhaps even his life. The machinery of Roman power was relentless, unforgiving to those who failed to maintain order. Trapped between justice and survival, Pilate faced an agonizing choice. He could act on his conscience, risk the wrath of the crowd and his superiors, or he could sacrifice an innocent man to preserve the fragile peace. The calculus of empire left little room for idealism. In a final symbolic gesture, Pilate washed his hands before the crowd, declaring himself innocent of the blood that would be shed. but the act was hollow. His authority made him complicit, his decision irrevocable. The sentence was pronounced. Jesus was led away, beaten and mocked, forced to carry the instrument of his execution through the jeering throngs. As he was crucified, the sky darkened, and the city seemed to hold its breath. The man whose words had inspired hope and fear alike was silenced, his followers scattered, their dreams crushed beneath the weight of imperial power. Yet, the story did not end with his death. The execution of Jesus of Nazareth became a turning point, a moment that echoed through the centuries. The decision Pilate made, shaped by fear and ambition, would haunt his legacy. The empire he served would eventually crumble, but the memory of that day, the image of a governor choosing power over truth, would endure. Beneath the surface of this ancient drama lies a universal dilemma, the struggle between conscience and expediency, the cost of maintaining order in a world built on compromise. Pilate's predicament is not unique to his time. Throughout history, leaders have faced similar crossroads, forced to weigh the demands of justice against the imperatives of survival. The story of Pilate and Jesus is a reminder of the human cost of political calculation, the irreversible consequences of choosing expedience over integrity. In the end, the machinery of empire ground on, indifferent to the fate of a single man. But the echoes of that decision, the hidden motives and secret conversations, remind us that history is shaped not just by great events, but by the choices of individuals, choices made in the shadows, under the weight of fear and ambition. The drama that unfolded in Jerusalem 2,000 years ago remains a powerful testament to the dangers of power unchecked and the enduring hope that truth, even when crushed, can rise again.
Thank you for watching this video. If you found the content meaningful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Faith and Glory channel so you won't miss out on more inspiring videos about faith and life values. See you in the next video!